for Pleasure Castle. Superior is the coach for Lana.
Yeah.
Both great players
We just need to
in their
fall back
respective
quicker.
rights.
Yeah, if you're low,
only
get the
reason
fuck
we
out.
Fox plays
Just
a lot of
get the
Vadasi
fuck out.
and Voden.
Yeah.
Looks like it's weird. All the players
Taking
named Fox play Voden.
This is true. This is very true.
Only one person
So we do have Pleasure Castle and Team Lana getting into this game. Pleasure Castle up 1-0. We're going to see whether or not they can clean this out too, or whether or not Lana can turn things around and take this to a game 3. Both teams going out to their points. They've actually, everybody seems to be running the double Cerberus with all of the aggressive back capping that goes on.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that in the last game, Pleasure Castle, after the first wound that they missed, they were able to clean their game up, make sure that they instead started focusing the wound instead of going for the kills, or even getting the kills before the push actually happens. And oh, they're going in so aggressive already.
So much aggression. Taito is going to go in. Maybe he can pick up somebody. No, he's going to start to back out. That was a really aggressive play forward by Pleasure Castle. They were looking for a really early pick.
Yeah, and they almost got it, but they do have the power advantage. I think they got the summons off just a little bit faster than Lana did, so that's going to benefit them a little bit. But again, anything can happen until the kills come in, and especially since Lana's title player, Quick Jr. is going to be probably going into the back.
We really need to find out what his name actually is instead of calling him Quick Jr.
I think it's fine.
All right, it's fine. So Quick Jr.
doing what Quick does.
He is doing what Quick does. Quick Jr. looking to make some plays. He's going to start sneaking around the backside like he does, going in for some power steal, because that seems to be the most effective strategy that they have managed to come up with. Meanwhile, on the side of Pleasure Castle, just sort of waiting it out. They like to go for team fights, and it doesn't look like anybody has backed up. Actually, Roland is on his way back to start dealing with this Taito back capping.
Yep, and here we go. Taito is taken down to about half health. We're going to see Roland see what he can do about this. I don't believe he's level 3. No, he's not level 3 yet, so he doesn't have the triple bola, and he doesn't have the explosion on the bola either. So it's going to be really hard for him to keep Taito's health regen down so far. He's going to have to wait. He's either going to have to land some really good shots, some good suppressing fires, or wait until he hits level 3.
On to that Vadasi. Taito actually managed to find the Vadasi, sneaking a little too far forward. He snuck way too far into the back line. And we actually got a little bit of a play. Who's going to go down? Is HK going to be able to make it? He's going to fall, but it's going to wind up being a 1-for-1. Actually, a 2-for-1. No, still a 1-for-1. Charnock is there. Can he land the autos? He's actually going to get brought down. Vadasi doesn't get there in time. Taito does a lot of damage, brings down the enemy HK. He's looking for that Charnock. He needs some body blocking, but both of those are low targets. Taito seems to think he can go in for both. He's going to take a lot of damage. Here comes the Roland. He's going to get bursted down. Taito goes down.
He hits the bola once again. That was a really nice play over on the side of the Roland on Pleasure Castle. And that, again, the bolas are being so impactful, and they usually are.
Yeah, the power is actually just slightly...
Yeah, they walked into the fire storm.
I'll try and remember. I get so excited.
The beard comes in to put him in his place.
The beard knows all.
Yeah, they're all full health, right?
Yeah, I get too excited. I'm sorry. I need a headset. I need a headset so I can't bring it any closer.
We gotta be really aggressive.
Anyways.
Yep, going back to the match, Pleasure Castle is ahead in terms of power, and a lot of that came from the 3 kills to the 1 that they have. But Lana is definitely not out of it, and a lot of that comes from the amount of power that Taito is stealing, and he's going back to do it again. At this time, Roland is still level 2, does not have triple bolas, so it's again going to be really hard for him to catch onto Taito. It's going to have to be a really good shot in order to get those
Castle
goals.
with a sneaky play here. They're going in for the bait. They're going to try and bring down this creature as they see that nobody from the side of Team Lana is going to aggress onto him. And here comes the team fight. That's a lot of damage down onto Taito. Roland doing what he can, but he's going to try and bring down the spin to win. Does he have enough damage? No. Taito slips out to the side, and so much damage coming in from both Charnocks. They're looking to bring down at least one target. Taito v Taito, which Taito is going to go down. Pleasure Castle's Taito is still alive. Roland doing a ton of damage on the backside. He's actually going to miss the lunge. That's going to be a really good double swoop away, and now it looks like it's going to be Roland from the side of Pleasure Castle, bringing down Taito. Pleasure Castle in a clear advantage.
Yes, 6-1 is the kill score at this moment. The only reason Lana is anywhere near close is that they have been stealing power a couple times, but it's definitely not going to be enough at this point. And one thing that I really like about Pleasure Castle is that they've been forcing the fights when Lana's Taito goes to back cap. That is huge for their team. They're taking the numbers advantage that they have, and they're saying, all right, we can keep Taito alone for just a little bit. And especially since Lana's been bringing Taito back up into the fights, but by the time he arrives, it's a little bit too late. So it's really worth it for Pleasure Castle.
Yeah, for the moment, they're gonna for the moment, they're going to be waiting out the passive power generation on the side of Pleasure Castle. They don't need to over-aggress to go in for the next play. They'll be able to start trying to push up for the first wound, and we'll see whether or not this title for Pleasure Castle is going to be able to make the plays he did last game.
And again, this game is Pleasure Castle is 1 game up on Lana in this best of 3 series. Winner gets to take home an Alienware desktop or laptop. It's their choice between the two. And going back to the game, again, going for the poke war, Pleasure Castle knows that they can get the push just by waiting it out. They don't need to force anything too aggressive because they could always still give away the push and even worse, give away the shield.
Yeah, no, that would be really, really rough. Even if you do get the push, if you can't get the shield, it doesn't really matter. You don't manage to do enough damage. So there's going to be the push. There's actually a decent amount of shield generation, so we're going to see whether or not Taito can sneak past the enemy lines for Pleasure Castle. And they really do need their Charnock as well. Those are really the two characters who are going to do the most damage, as the dot damage from Charnock will go, is very, very good at dealing with shield, and now they're going to start to aggress in. Pleasure Castle looking for the play. They've got Taito on top of the enemy Charnock. He's going to pull back. Roland doing a ton of damage. Out comes the ultimate from the Charnock on the side of Pleasure Castle. He's going to do a lot of damage there with those AoEs. Now looking for Taito from the side of Lana, looking to go in. They're going to bring down the Gnosis.
And the mortar splits them all up in the middle of the fight. Very nice play. The Charnock ultimate goes for a return, and it looks like Taito is still in the middle of the fight. He's not dying. He's not dying, and he survives after getting 2 kills and getting out. Take a look at that health bar, folks. And it's going to be a push for Pleasure Castle. And there we go. They're not going to face any opposition either. The respawn times, they're just getting back into the game.
Yep, Taito's going to be able to step forward. That's going to be the first wound going over to the side of Pleasure Castle, same as they did in the first game. Actually, no, he does get brought down. Is the rolling going to be enough to do the necessary damage? I don't think so, as he's had to pull out as well.
Ooh, that's definitely interesting. So Lana is able to defend off of that push, and now Pleasure Castle, they do manage to take the center bloomer on Lana's side of the map, but are they going to trade Roland for it? Yes, they are. Really nice play by Charnock, just landing auto attack after auto attack. If you can track with that, it's just going to do more and more damage.
Yep, now it's going to be Pleasure Castle on the defensive. They don't have a lot of power here, so if 1 or 2 more kills go over to the side of Team Lana, they're going to be able to push in with basically no shield and probably get almost an auto wound.
Yep, and we're back to the poke war once again, but this time it's Pleasure Castle who need to make the move, or who need to make the moves in order to get back into this. They're really far behind in terms of power gain, and a lot of that just comes from the amount of kills that they gave up after they took the. They didn't even take the wound, so they're definitely in a hard position.
That's good. We caught up in levels too.
We're going to see whether or not Pleasure Castle is willing to make another aggressive play. Every time Taito has gone in, he has, every time Taito has gone in for the side of Team Lana, they've sent their Taito to start and initiate a fight. They've sent him around the backside, gone in for the flank. They're starting to upgrade their creatures though, which is going to be very, very useful for the side of Pleasure Castle. They're willing to use some of those focuses because right now they're just going to play the waiting game.
Yep, and after the creatures are upgraded, Lana, the only choice there Taito has if he's going to backcap is basically steal power. Anything else is not very efficient in terms of time, or in terms of even if Taito dies. Stopping power gain for a couple seconds for dying is definitely not worth it in their case. So we're going back to, once again, more poking out. Both of these teams being incredibly passive. Pleasure Castle, again, they want to be the ones to do something, and they have the Gnosis, which makes me think that they want to be engaging, but it looks like they haven't found their opening yet.
Yeah, for them, they're willing to wait at this point. Over-aggression is probably going to get somebody killed. Although they do have the ability to push up slightly, Pleasure Castle needs to play it very, very safe. They need to find that rotational pick.
The rotational picks are really easy with Roland as well, but we also see that Lana is running Roland on top of that. So it's a Roland v Roland. It comes down to who can land Bolas better in terms of who can get the picks. And a lot of it also depends on whose team can follow up better. So Lana has Vidasi, whereas Pleasure Castle, let's see, who do they have that Lana does not? They have a Gnosis. A Gnosis. Alright, cool. So they don't have a Gnosis, so again, Pleasure Castle is going to have a better job in terms of initiating, but they also have to watch out in the poke war because Vidasi's just going to be healing them the entire time.
Yeah, no, it's going to be rough. But just having a Vidasi on your team changes how you're forced to take team fights and engagements. And for the moment, it's basically been forcing Pleasure Castle to play super, super far back in their base.
And then we're seeing Roland again poke out. Roland's actually even really good at poking too. He's got his suppressing fire, which burns people, burns anyone he hits with it. And since it's such a large spray, it's kind of hard to miss. You can get it from long range. You can apply it to the entire team, and it does a decent amount of damage because each bullet only does what, about 23 or something like that. But the burn itself does 90 per tick. You can upgrade it to do 4 ticks instead of 2. So do the math. That's 360 damage from one suppressing fire. There's just one bullet hitting you.
Yeah, no, it's super useful, especially in some of these siege situations. Because bringing somebody down on the enemy team who does not have a healer, it'll put their healers in combat, and that can be the opportunity you need to start poking it down. Maybe set it on fire with a Charnock or snipe it out with an Amani.
Yeah, a lot of burns on the side of Pleasure Castle, and a lot of Lana too. In fact, Lana also has a little bit of an advantage because Vidasi can cleanse. There are not a lot of heroes that can cleanse, and burns, bleeds, and what is the other one? Burns, bleeds, and poisons are really good to cleanse. They prevent a lot of damage from happening because they're usually really long ticks. It's not just a 2-tick poison or anything like that, but it looks like
is Roland gonna go down? He takes a ton of damage there from the side of Pleasure Castle. Now it looks like Pleasure Castle's Taito is gonna look to defend on the advancement. He looks to go onto Charnock, is forced away, and that's gonna be the aggressive push coming in from the side of Team Lana.
And Team Lana, they are definitely aggressive right now. They're trying to force their way through. And they have 2 members sneaking around through, let's see, that's going to be E point, and they're going to be going into the Guardian right now, but there's a really good defensive setup on the side of Pleasure Castle. Not a lot of shield, so it's going to be very tough for them to defend, but let's see if they can take out Lana before they get there.
They actually seem to have abandoned that idea. They've sent their Taito to go and backcap. He's going in and taking out some of their creatures while they're aggressing forward and going for this wound. They will be able to get the wound on the side of Lana, but Pleasure Castle has managed to take out 2 and maybe possibly even 3 of their creatures.
There we go. Vidasi goes down, and we're seeing a little bit of extra cleanup. Nasus is going to try to chase for a kill. Oh! Just barely getting killed. Taito is in the back line. Roland being able to pick that kill up as well. So that's going to be a 2-for-1 after the push ended in favor of Pleasure Castle. So if they continue with this, if they don't play too aggressive, if they don't give up a lot of kills, then they're going to get the next push, and it's almost going to be auto wound. If they don't get shield, it's definitely auto wound.
Yeah, it's likely to be an auto wound, and that'll allow them to start taking out the enemy creatures again. They do need to start upgrading their creatures. It seems like that's part of their plan right now. Lana, they need to actually respawn their creatures, as Taito from Pleasure Castle was able to take out most of them. It seems like that's going to be the play, and a large Cerberus going to be going down for the side of Pleasure Castle. They've realized they need to start upgrading all of their creatures, get that 3 levels of power generation, and then start aggressing in. But it looks like there's somebody going in for the back cap.
Yep, it's Taito again. Let's see who they send back for it. And really good map awareness too, because Roland is already going back for it. Taito's only going to be able to get 1 or 2 hits on the Guardian. It's going to help them out a little bit, but Roland is almost there. Hopefully opens up with a suppressing fire. There we go. That's how you do it. And he's going to be able to apply that burn proc and hopefully get some bolas on the escape.
Huge amounts of power steal coming in from the side of Team Lana. They've sent their Taito in, Quick Jr., to try and bring down that power bomb.
So when they go to attack, they're going to get the wound, but if we can kill them, we get
wow, we see Taito going in for it again. That's pretty aggressive, especially if Roland can land one of his bolas whenever Taito goes for it. It's not enough to steal the push away, but especially since Roland is here, you can't stay on that Guardian for longer than a couple seconds. But it's definitely something that they're going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, and this could be advantage for the side of Team Lana if they're able to keep everybody busy and still steal away a little bit of power, which is what he's doing. He's actually using almost a little bit of a Taito bug to be able to jump and stay on top of the Guardian and steal away a bunch of power. If they're able to turn this around into a second wound, that'll be clear advantage for Lana.
I'm backing up because I'm about to have
he's not stolen enough power though, but if he keeps the pressure on, Pleasure Castle may have to force a pick, which is something you definitely don't want to do if you know you have the advantage already. So let's see what they're going to be able to do. Taito backs off to his own side of the map, and we're going to see another poke war come out in the center of the map once again. Roland over here sees Taito. Taito looks like he's going to be going back into the back line.
Nope. Nasus looked like he was going to go in.
Oh, here's got to be nope. Yeah, they backed off. So again, not much is happening, and at this point, Pleasure Castle, they need to think of something to do, because Roland is not necessarily going to be able to completely stop Taito from stealing power. He's just going to be able to run by, take 1 or 2 hits, and then leave with the impressive amount of mobility that Taito has. If Taito stays around for too long, he's going to get hit by those bleed procs with the Bola's really large AoE trigger radius. Ooh, the burning too, and the poison. He might actually go down depending on... No upgrade from Roland. He hasn't taken the extended burning on the suppressing fire quite yet. So Taito's actually going to be able to get out.
Yep, double swoop for Taito. That'll get him out and back to the rest of his team. He'll be able to slowly heal back up again. Actually, they have Vidalcy, so that process is going to be particularly quick. And now it's going to be Pleasure Castle still looking for that push. They're almost there in terms of power generation. They've got 3 large monsters. That's way more than that of the side of Team Lana, so they should be able to get this push coming in very, very soon.
Yeah, and at this point, even stealing power isn't going to be enough unless he's allowed to just hit the Guardian repeatedly for a full 10 seconds. Without anyone trying to stop him, and even now, there's only going to be about 5 seconds left. So there we go, it's just going to happen now. The Guardian's going to start pushing. Already we see Lana quickly falling back. They're trying to get into position to make sure they have all their bases covered and nobody gets through.
Yep, they're going to group up on the side of Team Pleasure Castle. They're going to go in. In goes the Gnosis. He gets off the knockup. Out to the Charnock ultimate. That's going to be a ton of damage. Taito is still alive, but he's getting burned down. Is Roland going to be able to lay in more damage? They're going to pick up 1. Can they pick up a second one? That's another kill going over to the side of Team Lana. They're going to start aggressing in. They bring down the HK. Out comes the ultimate from the Charnock on the side of Team Lana. It's going to do so much damage and almost enough to bring them down. They're going to be able to generate a ton of shield here. Taito's still alive. Can Roland turn? No, Taito goes down.
And Roland is the only one left alive, and there we go. Roland has finally gotten taken down. So Lana with the defense before the Guardian even gets there. Very, very nice play. That gives them the shield, and look at that. Look at how close that is. They wouldn't. It would have been an auto wound had they not gotten the shield. So that was a very clutch play, and it extended their life for yet another push.
Yep, it's going to be one more push before Pleasure Castle is able to even things up.
Good job, guys.
Play smart, stick to the game.
All right, we're looking at the game once again. Both teams just looking to poke out a little bit. I believe Lana knows that no one in Pleasure Castle can get to their side of the map in time to do damage to the Guardian. Even though it was 1 hit away, next push is most assuredly auto wound. And
good. Same plan, guys.
It's gonna be rough.
Pleasure Castle is pretty far behind because Lana already halfway to the next push. They're most likely going to get the next push unless Pleasure Castle do something about it. So they're already going to be hitting the second health bar for Pleasure Castle, whereas Pleasure Castle, it's going to be 2 pushes before they can hurt the second health bar for Lana.
Well, if you look at the passive power generation for the side of Pleasure Castle, they've got more large creatures, so that could be enough if they can go in and pick up a kill. That's going to be the summoning, giving them level 6. They're going to need that going into their next team fight, and they have to aggress.
The power stealing too. Taito is able to at this point, it's not as important that he's taking power for his team, but that he's stealing power away from the enemy team. So that's actually going to prevent them from having as much shield once the time comes for them to get shield. Oh, the burning comes down though. Taito's dropping down pretty low.
Maybe
no extended burn
can
still.
make something happen here.
Goes for the focus, does not quite land it, but he's going to get a couple of blunderbuss shots. He needs one more hit of anything.
Someone needs to come in there and body block him off. Nobody goes in, and he's able to retreat to his team right to his Vidasi, and they should have had somebody there to block that off.
Yeah, they even Charnock putting a hot hail at the end. That's a big AoE that's guaranteed to hit him at least once, and I think that's all they needed. Taito was at an extremely low amount of health.
Yep, Pleasure Castle still waiting things out. They need just a little bit more damage to get that last wound, but I don't know. I actually thought HK was about to get mortared off by the enemy HK.
Yeah, it was definitely close. So now we see, once again, Lana ready to take the push. Pleasure Castle don't have a lot of power left in order to get the shield. Part of that, once again, is from Quick Jr. going to steal power once again. And Charnock playing the poke war, which he's winning right now, especially since he can get the AoE down. And he's applying burning procs to 2 people where their Charnock is only applying burning procs to 1.
Yeah, so right now, I'm surprised that Pleasure Castle hasn't actually gone in for the attack. They haven't sent their Taito behind to sneak in anything. They haven't used him to steal any power. They've used him entirely as a rotational team fighter.
Yeah, and if Lana is able to get this next wound and force the game into clash, Pleasure Castle is going to be really far behind, considering they need to get at minimum 3 pushes in order to end the game, whereas Lana would only need to get 1. But that's if Lana gets this next push, which may very well happen if Pleasure Castle can't get the shield in time.
Yeah, Pleasure Castle, I don't think they're going to be able to get the shield off of this unless they go forward now. They need to start aggressing and trying to pick a play, because otherwise it's going to be a free push going in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Taito just suicided.
Oh, wow. That's
Oh
pretty huge.
god. He's currently changing his skills because he just suicided and does not want double tap to dodge.
Ooh,
He's learning.
double tap
He's
to
learning
dodge.
that you should not double tap to dodge.
Yeah, the double tap to dodge is something where if you misclick just a little bit, it can spell the end for you. And a lot of people have started using the dodge modifier instead, but that's going to force the numbers advantage for Lana as they start pushing in for this wound. They're going to be able to get the knockback onto Roland, and Roland is now trying to the best as he
Taito.
can.
Maybe he can come in for the flank. The members of Pleasure Castle are all there. Taito needs to be able to get on top of a target. Nasus is going very low. That's going to be a really good swarm. They're going to pick up one. Can they get onto the Tadasi? Tadasi needs to go down. She does use her focus, but they need to get people there, and that's going to be the wound going over to the side of Team Lana. Now Pleasure Castle picking up the revenge, but it may not be enough.
And blindsided and tunnel visioning to the team fight at hand. They didn't see anyone go behind them. And Triad, oh my god, the Taito player actually manages to get out with 2 kills
And
using his
Taito
focus.
Jr. escapes. That's going to be going into the clash, and now it is 3 wounds to 1 in favor of Team Lana. They're turning this game around.
Yep, they might bring it to a 1-1 game at this point. Let's see what Pleasure Castle can do in order to hopefully get back into this game. Their last chance is to really start making team fights happen. They do have 3 upgraded creatures to 1. Oh, now it looks like 2. Lana's upgrading another creature in their backline, so the power generation is going to be a little bit similar. Pleasure Castle's going to get a slight edge in that respect, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to get them 3 pushes in the time it would take Lana to get 1.
I highly doubt it. Pleasure Castle is going to need back team wipes. 5. I think 5 team wipes is what they're going to need. If they are so far behind, it's unlikely that they'll be able to get that many wounds off of that many pushes. And look at the power. Lana's almost even with them in terms of power based off of all of those escapes they managed to get out in the last team fight.
Yeah, and getting kills after the enemy takes a wound or after they try to get a push is huge, because that's what sets your power bar for the next round, basically. While you're waiting for the next push, your starting power bar is determined by how many kills you get when the opponent team pushes. And, you know, Pleasure Castle wasn't able to get a lot of them, so they ended up with only half a bar instead of 3/4 if they were able to burst Taito down.
First Taito down.
That's definitely a meme. I don't care what anyone
First
says.
Taito down is the first gigantic meme. Thank you, Gasmask.
Quick's telling us that
Quick,
those
quick,
pictures.
stop arguing and go congratulate your protege.
I'd say they're both around the same time frame. I wouldn't say either of them is first, but if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I guess it's MOG Gas on YouTube. Corrupt just made a random video of him saying "Burst Taito down," and a lot of dubstep is involved.
Yes, indeed. So the push looks like it's going to be coming in fourth side of Pleasure Castle very, very soon. They have the aggressive power generation. They've got 3 adult monsters, which is giving them 2 per map control buff, which is bringing up their power very, very quickly. And they should be able to get their next push, but it's going to be very difficult for them to get the necessary number of team wipes to turn this match around.
Yeah, and as you said, it's going to take more than 3 for sure. One of them is going to give them enough power to basically get this push, and even if they get the push right now, it's going to be auto wound. They're going to get a tiny bit of the health bar. It's going to be 1 barrier they have to get past, but it's definitely not one that feels good.
So these teams still playing the poke war. Again, I'm surprised that Pleasure Castle's title hasn't gone for more aggressive flanks and side plays. He's had a lot of opportunity to go make those, but he's decided that he needs to stick with his team. And I'd say they probably could have picked up a wound if they sent Taito in to make a couple more plays.
So a lot of the players, again, they haven't been playing very long. Just this weekend, there goes the push. But most of them only end up playing 1 or 2 heroes. So I'm not entirely surprised, but a Vodin would really help either team out right now. Because
someone actually has to go in and do damage. They should know that, because otherwise they're not going to get the push. And they need somebody to go in and do some damage.
Just one tap.
One auto. One tap.
One tap.
One tap, tap. All right, they will get the
wound.
wound.
Tap, tap. There we go.
That's going to be Charnock. She's out of position. Can Pleasure Castle convert off of this? That's going to be the ground and the bleed. They're going to pick up one. Can they get onto the HK? Taito needs to get himself out of there. He's going to use that swoop to jump over the wall, and that's a great play there by Pleasure Castle. That's exactly what they needed.
Oh, Charnock focus, and Vadasi runs right through it, and Pleasure Castle, they're going to collapse on her. She's going way too aggressive. Taito takes her down, and that's going to be 2 kills. A third one maybe, as Roland goes extremely aggressive as well. What are they doing? He's going to go up into the high rise, but I don't know how long he's going to be able to survive, and he gets taken down by Gnosis as well. Huge plays by Pleasure Castle, and that brings
it's not over yet.
They're
going in. Can they get this title? The swarm goes through. They need a little bit more damage. The bleed doesn't connect. They will bring down the creature, and that's going to be another kill going over to the side of Pleasure Castle. They may be able to turn things around and bring down a few more creatures and get that power generation necessary.
Pleasure Castle's Roland is locked into a battle with Taito. He's forced to back off after stealing as little power as is possible right there. He only got a couple of shots in. I don't know if that's enough to let the passive power gain take over at this point, especially since one of Pleasure Castle's creatures got destroyed as well. So it's 2-2 in terms of creatures. The weird thing is that one of the creatures that's still alive with Pleasure Castle is in the center of the map, and Lana does not have that luxury. So what that is that, first of all, Lana will have an easier time to take out that creature, that's for sure, because it's not behind the Guardian. But Pleasure Castle is going to have the heals from that Boomer, which is huge. They can back up to it for heals. They can fight on it for the huge burst heal that it does. They might be able to force a play off of that and come back into the game because of it.
Well, Pleasure Castle needs to address. They cannot wait, because we've seen in the last few fights that Team Lana does a really good job of fighting on the wound. They've done a really good job of picking that up when it's been very, very close. Pleasure Castle's gonna have to go in for the play. They need to make some aggressive flank and pick up some kills. Maybe they're gonna look. They actually did just get a bleed onto the HK for the side of Team Lana, so maybe they make a play there. That's a lot of mortars being robbed. The waiting game isn't going to work for them. They have to go in.
And as I said before, I don't believe a lot of these players got a lot of time to practice multiple different heroes, but Vodin would be really useful for either team right now because of the amount of bleeds and burns that are on both teams. We have Roland, Taito, and Charnock on both teams.
Right,
that's a lot of DOT that you
coming
can
in
cleanse with Vodin's cleanse.
For Team Lana, Pleasure Castle's Guardian is going to go down. They've got a lot of shield here, so they're going to have to defend. They're going to come around the corner. That's a lot of damage under the Taito. Can they bring him down? He's doing so much damage. He's actually going to take it out, but the Guardian is still going down. That's going to be the full shield. They need to take out this HK. He's doing all the necessary damage. It's going to be Lana picking up the win, taking this to Game 3.
Game 3 of this finals.
Nice job.
It's probably going to be a really close game as well, looking at the pattern that we've had so far. It's been crazy so far today. It really has.